The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action! Rebel 2. Action! Counter! Counter! Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury, the Trinity. The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action! Rebel 2. Action! Counter! Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury. Platinum, the Trinity. The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action! Counter! Counter! Rebel 2 Action Please select your character. Mercury, Platinum Trinity. The wheel is turning. Rebel 1 Action. Action! Rebel 3 Action! Please select your character. Platinum the Trinity. The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1 Action! Distortion finish! Rebel 2. Action! Distortion finish! Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury, Ragna the Blood Edge. The Wheel of Fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action!
飛び出せ読めるの行くかよじっとしてろ御殿だめうるせえかねえ待つなよこの遊びじゃねえんだぞじっとしてろどうしたロックだ
Counter!
なバッチリだ
Thundercloud!
こじられるぞ。ビビッとな。
ごめんねごめんね。
耐えろよ。こぼっかんこぼろ。な、行ったよ。同点だべ。どうせいか。振り落とされんなよ。遊びじゃねえ。危ねえからうろつく。
Rebel 2 Action
ビビッとも知らねえぞ。遊びじゃねえよ。飛び出せ。
Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury, Ragna the Blood Edge. The Wheel of Fate is turning. Rebel 1 Action
飛び出せ。うぜえ。飛び出せ。ビビっても。ビビっても違うぞ。我慢できるな。飛び出せ。ミネルヴァ連れて帰んな。
Rebel 2 Action
ビビっても
Counter
飛び出せ。ビビっても知らねえぞ。遊びじゃねえんだぞ。
Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury, Izayoi. The Wheel of Fate is turning. Rebel 1 Action
こ
やりますか。Rebel 2 Action 光がチャンス。これはどうです気合い。これはどうです気合い。いきます。ここまで。我が名はいざよい。
Oh no, my mic's flying. We got Discord now. I'm just my mic sucks. Alright. Sound test, sound good? Volume okay? It's already maxed out. It's just a very quiet mic. Alright. Well, so, basic stuff. Like, you're new to BlazBlue. Is this your first anime game, too? Or just new to BlazBlue, particularly? Okay. So, one of the big things for BlazBlue particularly is you got, like, a lot of the pressure seems tighter than it is. Like, a lot of stuff, it's like, man, how do I ever get out of this? But it's not actually tight, and there's gaps. So there's definitely, like, knowledge of knowing, like, what moves can I get out of, or can I mash here? Is it time? So that's what I was doing a lot when I was playing Platinum. It's like, I saw you getting the habits, like, I want to mash here, so I was doing something that's like, you can't mash here. You don't have the frames to do it. So, there's, like, that's something that will take getting used to. Also, you were using barrier a lot. Try to not use barrier, like, way too much. It pushes your opponent out more, which is nice, but it also puts you in block stun for a little longer, so it makes it harder to get at stuff. So, and if you use all of it and go into danger state, then you can't block in the air anymore, and you take way more damage. So it's like, it's dangerous to use it, like, way too much. But if the chip damage isn't going to kill you, it almost never matters. Like, there's some characters where it's like, okay, they're designed to do chip damage to you, but like Ragna or Platinum, they're not. The chip damage to do is so minimal, if it's not going to kill you, you don't have to worry about it. So really use it more to push someone out. So, like, there's a lot of the kind of stuff that's like, if I'm just playing Ragna and I hit buttons, it's like, I can throw out this. So let's just block. Yeah. Yeah, block. So, like, that seems good, but if I throw that out there, like, you're not gonna be able to punish me, but it's not like I'm back in your face. So that's not like an opportunity. Maybe you can throw out a button, you can backdash, you can jump. Ragnar also has like, if I do this, I can dash forward. That's always unsafe. It looks scary if I dash forward and just keep doing stuff. It looks tight, but it's not. There's definitely a gap between the projectile and me doing more shit. So like, there's just a lot of things where it's like figuring out, hey, is this real? Is this like actual pressure or not really? And just kind of getting used to that. And then it's like backdash has invulnerability. It's not a ton though, but it'll help you get out of some stuff. Especially if I'm like longer range, I'm trying to poke you out with things. You can backdash, and then if I whiff, you get more of an opportunity. So just don't be afraid to like move around, try to get some space. Like jumping and burying is a fine way to get out. You can just block if you hit like if you insta block something. You can try to do a reversal or mash, backdash. You get all those kind of options too.
Look at time.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Time up. Ragnar, win. Rebel 2, action.
It's very punishable to do it a lot too. It's just that a lot of the times, like typical anime game rules, if something's overhead like this, it's slow. So if I'm doing pressure, I try to go into this. You could probably jump out of it, and if you barrier, that lets you block whatever I'm doing on the ground. So that lets you get out. And it's like, but the problem with that is like, if I know you're just trying to do this all the time, all I gotta do is delay a little bit and hit you with something low, and it'll catch you while you're jumping. Like there's start frames to your jump. But it's still a reasonable option to help you get out of pressure. So like, just try to pressure me for a bit. I'll show you what I mean. Just do whatever you want to do. To see like I could see there, like you're doing something, you're being pushed out. If I could tell like you're doing something, and I know you have to run forward to keep going, I could probably hit a button. So like, there's one key that if I'm trying to do stuff to you, and it's like starting to push out, you see me like I have to run to keep going. There's probably a gap where I have to. No, let's just like do whatever pressure you do with your character, so I can.
Look at time.
Well, so it'll be easier, I think, to understand if you are doing whatever you want to do, and then I could show you, like, this is how I'm beating it, I can explain why it's working. Rather than me just doing stuff at you, and then you having to figure it out, because that way you can feel like, oh, I'm trying to do this doesn't work. And, like, you'll feel like, oh, this is easier to get out of than I thought. Like, it'll probably make more sense that way.
Please select your character.
I'm even going to go back to Platinum. She does not have a Dragon Punch. She doesn't have like a move with invulnerability like Ragnar does. So I can't use that to kind of get out of jail free. So I'm going to try to earn my way out of everything. But just run whatever game, whatever pressure you kind of do. And then as like, if I see opportunities to either get out or like stuff you before you do things, then you'll see like some of the issues that can come up.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1, action.
Well, it's because characters have like, I can't do. It's not like Melty Blood. I can't do every move into every move. Like there's Gatling charge, so I could tell like if you do this, you only have so many options after you do it, and then. Right. Well, there's minor reverse being at some characters, but nothing like Melty Blood. But there's also, in the same vein, it's like there's certain moves where it's like, maybe I can't punish your 5A or your 2A, but if you go to like 5B, it's like, all right, this thing is gonna go to a point where I can get out at the end of it. It's not, it doesn't keep going forever. Either you're gonna just keep throwing out A's, and you'll eventually get pushed out enough where, oh, to keep going, you're at the dash. There's my chance. Or you'll do like A to B's and the C's, and I'll be like, well, once you do C's, you don't have any more options, and C isn't your turn anymore afterwards. So it's like it naturally builds to something I can get out of. So platinum, this is A, these are B's, and these are C's. Platinum's a little weird that our C's and B's are about the same speed, but just think basically if I'm using the staff, that's getting near to the point where it's my turn anymore. All the A's are like really short and fast. That's the kind of stuff that's good for me.
Look at time.
It's more when you're starting, be comfortable with your character, don't worry about your opponents. When you get good with your character and like really comfortable, then even if you're just like, I only know how to play your direct, there'll be certain principles that'll help you with the matchup. And then once you start understanding that, then you'll start seeing it's like, oh well, most characters are like this if they just kind of do like, if you want to just block for a sec. If they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna do whatever into that, like that sweep. Now I'm too far out. My turn's over. Unless I commit to like a special that's unsafe on block. So that's why you could see like, oh, I saw that. That's probably my chance to either do something or like move around and get out. So you'll just kind of get the idea because that's like most characters. Like if you do whatever like moves you do into and you end something with a normal that's a C, like do anything you want but end it with a C. See like what can you do after that if you don't do a special? Yeah, so like either you're canceling a special, which is probably more risky, or has a startup that I can mash out of, or like you just let it block and I can just mash you and punish, or jump out or backdash. So like every character tends to have that. It's like as you get to like the C normals, most of them are either slow and you can mash the startup, or they're not safe on block, so you don't want to just block string into them because you're just gonna get punished. So that's not like a platinum or a Ragna thing. That's most characters thing. So like I said, just do whatever you want to do, and I can tell you like why it's working and why it's not. Throws aren't bad. Doing like short stuff in the throws is fine. Well, no, I'm just saying for this game particularly. I assumed you would know what they are. Okay. See, like right there, you're kind of doing something. It's like, oh, that move you ended a little far away. That's probably a good chance for me to jump out. Because if you're already far away on the ground, odds are most characters, their anti-airs are vertical. They don't go very horizontal. So like how horizontal your C move goes is probably more horizontal than like your 6A or your 2C or whatever your anti-air normal is. So if I block a C, that's probably a chance for me to jump out because your anti-air probably won't tag me.
Please select your character.
Well, so, like, if you do just whatever block string, like if you're doing like A, B, C, and it's like, I'm blocking it, as I block everything, you're slowly getting pushed further away from me, right? So, well, I mean, you might, but if I block your C on the ground, and I'm starting to get pushed away from you, I can probably jump backwards and get out of whatever you're doing, build some space. Because odds are, whatever normal you have that's like an anti-air normal, something with head and vulnerability that hits upwards, it probably doesn't hit as horizontally far as your C move that I just blocked. So like, for example, like this is Platinum's 5B, this is her anti-air. You can see the 5B is way further. So if you block this at like this range, and you try to jump backwards, if I think you're going to jump and I do this, I'm not going to hit you, you're too far away. So the jump's much safer. Well, so like it depends if I'm close enough. So if I did like 5A, 5C, and then that, and you try to jump the 5C, yes. But if I did like 5A, 5A, 5B, and then did it, you're in the corner. It's making it harder. But so like mid screen where I can actually push you away. So if I do. So like if you wait for a spot where it builds space, this will whiff. So you gotta look for a good opportunity like that. See how that didn't even touch you? It whiffed. So it's gonna whiff if you jump back and block too. See how it doesn't even hit you? So like if I do a block string into like whatever with a C, no, you're fine. But like if I do something that's this far away, like I have to move forward to tag you anymore. So like you could probably jump out and block to get out, or I would have to dash forward to chase you. And if I'm dashing forward, I'm not hitting a button. You can mash me. So it's just little stuff like that. That spacing helps a lot. Like knowing that's less about knowing frame data. Frame data will help you know when to mash, like what normals. I block this. It's my turn to like hit 5A. Keep them honest. Because some characters can just destroy you for doing stuff like that. So like I was doing that to you a lot with this move. If I space that right, if this is an overhead. Yeah, that's an overhead. But if I space it right, if I space it right, it's plus on block too. So if you do that and start mashing, and I just start mashing too, I'll win. But like if I do this, that's not plus on block. So if I like try to do that and then run up to keep doing stuff, you could probably throw something out and catch me while I'm running at you. So like Ragda has a lot of that kind of stuff where he does a thing, and eventually he has to stop doing it and then take a risk to get back in, or just let you out. That's a big part of blazblue pressure, understanding that all pressure eventually ends, and it's either they're taking a risk to keep going, or they have to let you out. And it's just recognizing when that's going to happen and what you want to do about it. Okay?
Look at time.
So let's just assume I'm doing absolutely nothing. If you had full control of what you want to do, where do you want to be? Do you want to be like in my face, throwing shit at me? Do you want to be like half a screen away because your normals are kind of big? Like where do you want to be ideally? Okay. So you want me in the corner. Other than that. Or is it that's just like number one priority in the corner? Do you know offhand or not really? Well, so let's say as an example, you're like, I need you in the corner. So like when you hit me mid screen, like round star, you throw out like a move and it hits me. Are you trying to get like a combo that does damage, or are you just like, fuck the damage, I don't care. I want a combo with the most corner carry possible. I need you in the corner. My character does not work in our corner. Because there's like a difference between I like you in the corner, because every character is better in one corner. All the combos with 1,000 damage in order. You keep your game because as you shoot shit, they don't move away from you. They're stuck in the corner. Every character wants you in the corner. But there's other characters like they need you in the corner. So they'll burn everything they can to get you. So like offhand, you are not self-it, but the way you want to sell. Do you need someone in the corner, or it's just nice and I would hope to get you? Okay. So let's try a round. I don't really know Zelda. I'm just gonna pick her and try to throw normals, and you can see like spacing wise that it's not about you're really comfortable where you are. And I'm gonna see if I can just hit you in the corner. Because I know she has like moves that will have a lot of carry, like that buzzsaw move with the two wheels and shit, with alternative car.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
No, like play action. So you can see like there, I'm trying to do stuff, but it's like you're blocking that far away. So it's like, what am I doing? I'm resetting it back to neutral. It's no longer my turn. But you can see like here, I'm not doing anything to you. You're walking yourself into the corner. Well, you don't. Well, no, just just play the game. Like, you're now in the corner and down on life. You have to do something. Well, that's when it's important to know your character and what's like a good choice. So it's like, I know she has like a move that has some armor, so that could be a way out. Or if I'm doing stuff that's like this right here, it's like my turn's over. You could probably jump and block. You could probably throw at something. So if I try to do like this and you block it, and I throw out something slow, you can tag me before I do my thing. You can throw out a super. Like, you have choices. But you can see, like, right here, I'm not overcommitting to anything. I'm not putting myself at risk, but you're in the corner, and you don't know how to get out, right? Unless you're playing, like, Hakumen, this is not the game to just wait and let your opponent do their thing. You want to do your thing. So you push me into the corner and try to keep me there. Just so you can see the same thing. So just, you know, whatever pressure you want to do, try to open me up, try to do combos, whatever you're trying to do. Throw's not bad. Okay. Alright, so red. See, like right there, there's an opportunity. I'm like, oh, I can jump over this. Whatever you did, you're not going to be able to stop me from jumping over you. And then you would be in the corner. So it's about just seeing little spots where it's like, oh, this is my chance. And then taking advantage. Yeah, no, keep going. Push me into the corner. Over there's not bad. That kind of stuff works good in this game, too. Empty jump blows. Now you can see, like, right there, you did a combo and dropped it. This is where, like, you were asking, like, how do I keep my platinum pressure going? A big part of it was I make sure my combos all end, like, with a real knockdown. So I can do a thing. I don't just let, if the combo drops and you get the tech in the air, that kind of ruins things. It's better to have less damage, but get the knockdown so you keep your turn and you can keep going. Good. Yeah, throw in the corner. Okay, overhead. Doing like a bunch of 5As and then just trying to reset that like 5A dash 5A, that's really risky. That's something you do to cheat your turn back. Okay, so if you, I already shown you a couple times when you've done like 5A and then you dash and just try to keep it a 5A, like something you would do in Melty Blood, I've just mashed you out of it every time because I'm not blocking long enough, so I can mash you during this dash before the next 5A comes out. So that's the kind of thing that if you're just like you're doing like block strings like this, and you get like, oh, like you're having trouble getting that corner, then maybe you can mix it in once in a while. Get them blocking real stuff that they can't mash out of, and then you can steal the turn by doing something they can, because they're not just... When you only do 5A dash and just kind of do stuff like that, I have no reason not to mash you every time. So you gotta do stuff that I can't just mash, and then it opens it up to do it. Does that make sense? But the damage in this game is really high, and especially if you're not as comfortable with your character or the game. Don't go wild taking a million risks, because like if we were playing like just normal games right now, I could just let you do whatever you want and wait for you to fuck up. Because if you're newer to the game, I could just assume you won't know how to get out my things. I could just wait for you to hand me my turn. So being more risk adverse, the better way to learn how to play the game. At least get to like past that beginner level and like get a better a handle on the game. So just it would be a good idea whenever you get a chance. Maybe you look at the frame data and just like look like, all right, if I end my stuff in these moves, I'm plus. So those are like, if nothing else, end a block string in this, you know you're not going to get punished. It might not be your turn anymore, but you know you're at least safe. Or you could see like stuff where it's just like, oh, if they mash, if I'm doing like 5A dash 5A over and over and they start mashing me, maybe I'll do 5A and then slightly delay and then go into 5B, and the 5B will counter hit them. But you want to just discourage me from being able to just mash everything you can. Because most experienced players, especially if you don't know combos and you don't do real damage, they are not going to respect you at all because they don't have to be scared of your damage. So like, you can see like I'm doing. This is Fireball D. Well, it might, but like, so that move, it's not mix-up. It ends my string. It's plus I'm not gonna get punished for throwing it out, but it's not my turn anymore. Like, if I'm far away and I throw that out there, like, I'll be safe, but it's like, well, if I throw out a move, look, it all whiffs. I'm not close enough anymore. So for me to keep my turn going, I have to throw this out and then dash cancel it, which is risky, because I'll do this, and while I'm dashing, you can mash. So I can just do stuff like this, and then dash. If you mash me, well, it's like that wasn't good. So that'd be an option that I could steal my turn, do that, and then dash cancel, if I get you to block a bunch already from doing other shit. So that way it's like, he's not thinking about mashing, he's blocking. So I'm not going to get mashed at doing this, I could steal my turn back. So there's like stuff, oh, there we go. I guess it's basically, think of it is this really for most fighting games, but blazblue particularly. The match is basically, we're at neutral, it's no one's turn. Someone throws out the first thing and either gets a hit or a block. It is now their turn, and your job on defense is just, I need to get us back to neutral, where it's no one's turn anymore. So that would be getting, like, if you could jump and block or jump and make something whiff, now it's neutral. They're not just still throwing shit and being in your face. So you need to just ride out whatever they're doing until you're back to neutral. If you hit them, it's like you counter hit them by mashing or something and steal turn back, you skip right back going from neutral, and now it's your turn and they're on defense looking for a way to get back to neutral. So it's just like at neutral right here, first one to get something going, it's their turn. And the other person's job after that point is just wait until your turn's over. Because no pressure just lasts forever. It's all got to end at some point, and you just got to know when it's going to end and how to get out of it. So like right now, we're pretty good, but it's like, you can see like I'm throwing out these big moves. The moment you block that, my turn. Did you block something? And then I can do whatever I want to do. That's an overhead special. This is an overhead normal. That's not overhead. It's just big. It is plus on block, but you can see it's slow. Most things, if they're plus on block and safe, they're slow. But I can just kind of throw things at you, and you can see like you're not even like you jumped and blocked there, but it didn't get you out of the corner. So you jumped, you blocked, you landed right back in the corner. You didn't achieve anything. Well, so it's like you can jump and try to air dash out or jump forward and get out of the corner. Now you're out of the corner, that did something. Or like you could jump and do like a normal as you fall to the ground. Maybe you hit me, maybe you steal your turn back. That'd be the same thing as like if you do that armored punch that's basically a dragon punch, that steals your turn. It's just all stuff like that. And that's all how a lot of the anime games work. So it's really, that's why I was wondering what you came from. Because like, your pressure makes more sense if you're like, oh, I played Melty Blood. Yeah, just kind of throwing out normals, not worrying about specials, these block strings that seem like they go on forever. That's definitely more of a Melty Blood thing than blazblue.
Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but whenever you do things, basically, just if you think in your mind, it's like, I'm gonna do this, and then either there's a period of time where you're not doing something, or you're delaying, like to do like a frame trap, you're hoping your opponent doesn't mash. So realistically, unless you give me a reason not to mash, I'm probably gonna do it. So it's like if I mash something, if you just did like 5A, slight delay, 5B, and I was trying to mash out of it, I got counter hit, and then I got counter hit again and again and again and again. I'd be like, all right, fine, I can't do this anymore. Now I'll stop mashing. You give me a reason to stop mashing. I would say I would assume. Remember, this is an old game that isn't like as popular anymore. Anyone who's been playing it has been playing this for years. No one's doing shit on accident. Okay, unless they're new to the game too. But most people are not new to this game. Like, I'm not doing anything on accident. I might be taking a risk, like mashing somewhere, because I'm like, your best combo does 2,000 damage. I don't care if I get hit. I'm gonna take the risk and try to steal my turn back. It's worth the risk to me. But if you had combos that did like 5k, then I'm not going to do that anymore. No longer worth the risk. So. But this is the kind of stuff that if you just lab your character and get more familiar with them, like this pressure is not tight. Not even a little bit. That was a good mash. I did a special that's not safe on block. Mashing there was good. See, you took your turn back. Well, that's okay. But now we're back to neutral. So you did that big combo, which is nice, but you traded more damage instead of keeping your turn. That's when you ended with super and threw me all the way across the screen. You gave up your turn for damage. Yeah, because you also would have kept the 50 meter. Because you wouldn't have used it for the super. So that's, I always think of that as a priority. You're trading your turn for damage. And unless it's going to kill, I would say focus on keeping your turn. So that way you don't have to worry about like, oh, I had to win neutral here once to get my turn. If you just throw me back to neutral, now you got to win neutral twice, then 3 times, then 4 times. It's harder. It's better to just keep your turn. I mean, blazblue has just big damage. I wouldn't say it's more damage oriented. What I was meaning is experienced players. Let's say I take a risk, like this move right here. This is not safe on block, but it's big damage if I hit. So it's risk reward. Big reward on hit, big risk if I get hit. But if I hit you, I'm gonna do 3,000 damage. If your combo when you hit me only does 2,000 damage, the reward's way bigger than the risk. I'm gonna do this way the fuck more to you than say one of the guys in the Discord that will hit me for 5k if I do that and keep their turn. So if you can't do real damage, your opponents are going to be a lot less scared of you, and they're going to take more risks, and they're going to make you play really tight and safe, really honest. So if you can't do damage, and I don't have to respect like your punishes, and you're trying to do stuff like this like 5A pressure, well, they don't care if they get hit, and this is the way you get out of this by mashing. They're going to mash you all the fucking time because they don't care if they get hit. Because you just don't do enough damage for it to matter.
Time up. Platinum win.
Well, no. Just anything. Yeah. Like, if I have a move that's like, this isn't safe, but like, it does big damage on hit. Like, it's risk reward. Or like, even just, like, yeah, just like really reasonable example. Let's say like Ragnar, his Dragon Punch, the Inferno Divider, right? If it's your turn and you're doing shit to him, like that's his way to just get out. Just like, fuck it, do an invincible move. If I hit you, we're back to neutral. I stole my turn. If you can't do real damage to make him not use that move to just get out of every situation, like you punish him for nothing, and he doesn't care that he gets punished, why wouldn't he do it every time? Right? So until you know your character enough to do damage to make people play more respectfully, they're going to disrespect you. So that's mashing, that's moves with invulnerability, that's just jumping out of shit, knowing you're not going to be able to punish them, or just doing like combos that are just weird mix, that isn't tight, that isn't real, it just looks intimidating. That's what I was saying, like, it's more important for you to learn your character. Don't give a fuck about what the other characters do, not to start. Learn your character first.
Izayoi.
Well, if you, let's say you really learned your character well, like you understand what all the buttons do and the frame data, you got some basic combos in every situation, so you can make every hit count and like get your turn. You're always in every match you play, so your knowledge of Celica is 100% required 800% of the time. But like, if you play against Izuyoi right here, you might play me tonight playing Izuyoi, you might not play another Izuyoi for a month. So it doesn't really matter what my character does. So this character is actually, do you know anything about this character? She's a really extreme mix-up character, but she has 2 modes. See, when I turn to this, now I have a flying dash, I have weird teleports and shit. If I never use that mode though, she's just a really basic character. Has a fireball, has a dragon punch, has some moves. Nothing crazy. I'm only going to use the normal mode, because that way it's a really simple character that's not very strong. You don't have anything to be scared of, she doesn't do damage. In this mode, she does not do damage. Like, me hitting you with the best combo I can do, it's just like 2,000 damage. It's nothing to care about. And like, this seems wild, right? Like all these teleports I'm doing, it looks crazy, right? It's intimidating, right? I'm just I'm making you block a bunch of shit, and I keep teleporting, doing all this stuff. Every time I teleport, that's unsafe. If you mash me, I'll lose. So that's me. Like, mash me with a fast move. So every time I'm teleporting like that, I am stealing. That's the same thing as you doing 5A, then dashing to do another 5A. It just looks more intimidating, but it's the same idea. My turn's over, I'm trying to steal it back. That teleports me trying to steal it back. So you can just see, like right now, we're at neutral. I don't have a turn yet. I'm just gonna play neutral until I do something that gets me a turn. Now that hit knocked me down. That was your turn, but you backed off. You should have like knocked me down and just got in my face and started doing shit. But you hit me with that and then immediately walked away. Well, reversals are all risky. They're never safe on block unless you have like 50 meters to cancel them. So they're never safe. This is the whole like risk reward thing I was telling you about. It's a risk to throw out a reversal to steal your turn back. So do you know all the tech options in this game? Vaguely? Yeah. Like, knock me down. Knock me down with anything. Well, so there's the regular neutral tech. That has like lots of invulnerability. That's safe. But it doesn't move you. It won't get you out of anything. But that's the safe option. If you never know what to do, just always do that. There's also a quick tech that is the same as the neutral, puts you there, but it's a lot faster. That's riskier, because you might get tagged out of doing it. You can delay your tech, like just lay there. But if you do that, your opponent can just pick you back up and keep doing a combo. So that's risky too. And then there's the 2 rolls, which you can be hit out of the rolls both directions. So the only safe way to tech is just that normal neutral tech. there's all these other options that will beat certain things but lose other things. Risk reward. So
Please select your character. Izayoi, Celica A. Mercury.
well, or you could just be ready to tech the grab. If you're that worried about the grab, be very focused to tech the grab. Because when you throw break, you push each other away from each other, you go back to neutral.
Rebel 1. Action.
みんなどうしてるかな。
It's reasonably easy. Basically, if you know it's coming, you shouldn't have any problems. There's also option selects to help you out with it. I don't use them, so I'm not the person to look. But you can look up like just look up for blazblue's throw OS. It'll explain what to do. Oh, that's okay. Well, we can just talk between games. Just play normally. What are you trying to do? Is it always projectile invulnerable, or only when it's empowered?
Rebel 2.
Okay.
Action.
Now you see, like, that was far enough away, I still blocked it. It didn't, like, punish me. It got you through, but I blocked it, and that's probably not safe on block, right? Okay. Yeah, you know what's a better option to this fireball, though? Air dashing over it. Jumping over it. Like, see, you just kind of work your way in. Because this is working because I'm far away. All you gotta do is slowly work closer. It stops being a good option. See? Now you're in. Now it's your turn. Good mesh. There you go.
無茶しないでね。少しだけが。
Rebel 3. Action.
It hits everywhere the graphic is, and it's on both sides. It's like what's supposed to be is like her spinning in the air and throwing the blade around. But yeah, above and below.
Please select your character. Izayoi.
I mean, I saw fatal counter. Like that's an alarm that's like I got fatal countered with a move that probably does a lot of damage. If you have the combo to go after it, that probably does a shit ton. So that's like me immediately thinking, when I see that fatal counter like that, I'm like, I should think about bursting. But then you immediately dropped it, so I didn't care.
Rebel 1. Action.
Well, this is, again, going back to know your character. Because moves, either they fatal counter or they don't. It's not like they fatal counter sometimes. So if you know what moves fatal counter, you can be ready for it 100%. Okay. That's enough damage for me to carry. Sick. Wait, the combo didn't end in a knockdown, so we went back to neutral. Okay. Well, if you're having trouble like taking that combo and ending it, instead of trying to get the full thing, like end it at like what it was, at like 3,300, just take the knockdown. That's what I mean. Like it's more important to get the knockdown than go for max damage, especially when you're starting. There you go. That was a pretty nice combo. That did real damage. you are you doing real controls or stylish? Just out of curiosity. Then, dude, that's awesome. More than 3K mid-screen without meter. That's very good. Most characters can't do that. So like that's damage I'll have to respect. Ooh, got the combo to throw me in the corner. Didn't get the knockdown though. But still, not bad. Back to neutral. Alright. Be careful. I do have a Dragon Punch on this character. But you can see it's very vertical. No horizontal reach. You can make it whiff very easily. It's a Dragon Punch just like Jin. Jin has one like that too that goes very vertical. Good jump there. Avoided the throw. Don't know if that's what you meant to do, but it worked. It's fast because you're worrying about so much in the game. You're not fully comfortable with it. You're still worrying about your character, so you don't have the time to think about my character. But it's like, I'm not like purposely just playing like garbage right now. You can see like you're doing more damage. Like you're getting a little more comfortable with it. Getting the idea of like when it's your turn, you're being more aggressive after you hit me or make me block, give me a knockdown. You're not just backing off immediately. So already looking better.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1.
You don't agree? Good. Cool. So you got one knockdown on me, but then you ran up next to me and did nothing. So you didn't do anything with your turn. And then immediately after that, I just comboed you straight into the corner, so you couldn't do anything. You can see like I'm pushing you there. It's not a big combo to get you there. It's nothing fancy. It's literally just I'm pushing you into the corner. All right, you got me there. Good. So you did that charge projectile? Yeah, at 100 meter. That's the kind of thing, especially when we're low health. Spend the meter. Yeah, spend the meter. Stand. Yeah, that's in most cases. That's never really a bad thing. If you want to take a risk to get it in, because as long as like whatever you do, if it hits me or I block it, just you can cancel it with the 50 meter, and then it's your turn. You pay 50 meter for your turn, which is great. Honestly, that's really good most of the time. So you can take that kind of thing. Yeah. Well, it's something to think about. Lots of easy for meter and buying a turn is never a problem. Got caught trying to mash in a couple bad spots. It's good.
Rebel 2. Action.
No, I'm just playing, man. Like, me helping you is explaining shit as it's going on and what I'm thinking. I'm not, like, purposely throwing the game or playing like an asshole to teach you a lesson, you know? All good. Yeah? Who's your friend? Are they in this server too? Or is your friend in this server as well?
Rebel 3. Action.
Oh, nice. That's awesome when you have someone that you can play with. That's a good motivator. Well, that means you're gonna make him go in the lab and learn. Which means he won't improve. You have a goal that's achieved. See, like now you're in danger state. None of what I was doing was doing any significant chip. So, like, if you're blocking and you want to push me away, you only have to block the very end of it. So you could just kind of flash it real quick and see how little it uses when you do this. Yeah. When you're in danger of dying to chip, then start doing it, or against the characters that do a lot of chip damage, like a Amane, for example. But just doing it normally, remember, it puts you in more block stun. It'll push them away, but it puts you in more block stun. There's a trade-off. That's not something you want to be doing. Yeah, you're in block stun for a little bit longer when you bury your block. So you want to be doing it purposefully, which is basically the two main uses, other than I'm about to die, I need to not get chipped out. You want to push them away further whenever they're doing their block string. That'll fuck up their block string, because you'd be like, if they're expecting you to not barrier and then you do it, the last hit, instead of connecting and making you block, it'll whiff, and now it's your turn. The other thing is you need it to in the air to block normals from the ground. So save it for that. Don't just use it randomly just to negate like 30 points of chip damage on a fireball.
Rebel 1. Action.
Well, anything you'll want to throw into the air, so anti-air normals or anti-air specials, they're all going to be arrow blockable, so they'll have to barrier to block it. But like, if I just come up here and barrier and you don't do a thing, I could do all I do is like flash it, because I'll know like when I'm supposed to hit. Oh, you didn't hit me, and then I'll just do a move on the way down. It's my turn. You're basically letting me jump in for free if you don't throw something out. You know? Other than, I'm not sure about this game exactly. 5A might be different, but every substantial ground normal in general is air unblockable. Like this is not my anti-air. This is air unblockable because I am on the ground. Yeah, anti-air normals are just either they have a hurt box that makes it hard to hit from the air, or they have an actual property where you have invulnerability at a certain point in your body.
みんなどうしてるかな。行くよ。ごめんね。行くよ。
Okay, then yeah, that would be a good one. So, but you can see, like, if I'm gonna jump in, I'm not holding it the whole damn time. I'm holding it when I think I'm gonna get hit with the normal, and that's it. Just save the air. So that's what you just did is a really good way to steal your turn, going into overdrive. Well, no, just in general. Like if you do a really obvious block string, let's say I know, like you're always doing, like if you hit 5B, I know 5C's coming. If you block 5B and then I go into overdrive, I have invulnerability during the overdrive, and your 5C will whiff, and I get to punish you. But that's what it is. When you know there's another move coming up that has a little bit of length to it, like it takes a little bit of time, block one, immediately hold all your buttons. You go into overdrive, it'll whiff, and then you can just keep holding the buttons and take the free punish. So it's another way to steal your turn that doesn't cost me. You mash a lot with Selka's 5A, which it's probably one of her faster moves, so that's okay. But if I'm not like right next to you, the move doesn't go anywhere horizontally. So despite if there's a gap, you're never gonna hit me because it's always gonna whiff. So think about that before you mash. Alright, I got time for a couple more just regular games, so I'm just gonna play. So. Yep. And play a couple more. Yeah. Yeah, I slept after work, so I got work in a couple hours, but I slept earlier today, so that's why I'm still up.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Yeah. So she has the other mode that like makes her the mix-up character. You see the gauge above the supers with the little blocks? So when I'm in the normal mode that I've been playing you with, and I have a move that touches you, I start building blocks. When I'm in this mode, I can either have a better fireball or a teleport that tracks you, and I spend the blocks. That's why I wasn't using the other mode when we were playing. It's like, let's keep the character simple, but now I just want to get a couple games in. was trying to make you whiff something, but you did a good normal to stop my shenanigans, so that was good. Okay, I mean, I got hit either way. It doesn't matter if it was by accident or not. Good burst. That was gonna kill you for sure. Yep, absolutely. If you have the meter and you're doing a reversal like that armored move, be ready to rapid cancel it if they block it, like 100% of the time. It's punishable, so yeah. Like the moment you decide I'm gonna use it, be ready to rapid cancel. If you make the decision to use it, you make the decision to make it safe if it gets blocked.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
It depends on the game. I'll move. Fuck.
Rebel 2. Action.
This character is very silly. She's really hard to play though, but she's like broken if someone's playing her well.
Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury.
I mean, Celica is simple, but simple's not bad. It's not like she's a bad character. There's nothing wrong with simple. With the amount of people that play this game, and the fact that we're not like the level of the Japanese players playing in the arcades over there, yeah, you can literally play any character in this game. There's no one that's like so god-awful bad they literally can't win matchups. It just might be a little bit harder, but you can make that up just being good at your character. Yeah, there's ways out of all that pressure, but that's like definitely a good example of identifying, hey, here's the gap, this is what I get out. So this character is like that problem we were going over with before, just taken to an extreme.
Action.
Nice. I mean, all this stuff's projectile, so that's probably a good move. Oops. I got one more in me, then I'm gonna go head offline.
Please select your character. Celica A. Mercury. Platinum the Trinity. The Wheel of Fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action. Counter.
That move's no good. Be careful for that.
Rebel 2. Action.
The move I did at the very end. Well, all jumping normals are overheads. So that was just a normal I did in the air. When she does that little, she rides on a balloon thing, that just basically stops her, but she's still in the air, so she can go from that into any air normal. It's mix-up stuff. Yeah, that's just the way you want to think about it, is either it's not your turn and you want it to be your turn, or it's your turn